Hey YouTube! One of the most popular iPhone synths, Cassini, is now available as an iPad app. And it has a ton of complexity going on in here. You've got 3 oscillators, each with their own independent LFO and 2 different filters, as well as an ARP and some effects. But we'll get to all that in a bit. And you may be looking at this and you're already overwhelmed just looking at some of the complexity here on a given oscillator page. And if you are new to synthesis, this could be a little daunting. It's a bit like trying to ride a behemoth, but it's fun. And it sounds great. It ships with a whole bunch of different presets here, and you can preview them all from the preset window. And you notice that a lot of these are going to sound all kinds of spacey and futuristic, but that works. It's something unique. And as we get into the oscillators on these things, you have a lot of room to tweak the sounds. You've got 9 different envelopes scattered throughout this thing. So you've got your envelope up here that you can assign all kinds of different stuff. And if you flip this over, that's your level envelope, which is like an amp envelope and anything else. And this envelope is assignable to everything you see on this page that has the envelope thing here, except for the LFO, which has its own envelope right here. And this is carried over on all the oscillator pages. So over here on oscillator 2, same deal with its own set of envelope, level envelope, and LFO envelope. And even into the filters, there is a envelope for the parameters like resonance and frequency, as well as a LFO envelope, as well as on the main amp page where you'll find an additional set of envelope and LFO envelope. Each of the oscillators has a series of waveforms that you can select from sawtooth, pulse, and you can change the shape of all these. Let me turn off the other 2 oscillators so you're only hearing this. The shape itself can also be driven by an envelope, so crank that down and give it some attack. So that right there is already an interesting way to use one of the envelopes to add a lot of different stuff going on to one of the oscillators. And the first oscillator also has a sub-oscillator. And you can either set that to be 1 octave or 2 octaves below. In the second oscillator, that's replaced with a oscillator sync and ring mod, so you can sync the first 2 oscillators. Or ring mod them. And I know a lot of you are absolutely going to love this LFO, because not only do you have your typical sort of wave shapes, with a tempo sync, but you've also got a sequencer. Which is just one extra layer that adds increasing complexity to your sounds. The same sort of sequencer is available in the filter LFOs as well, so you can do some kind of space age dubstep. I don't know if that's going to get played in the clubs, but it sounds awesome. While I haven't encountered any sort of bugs, there are a few quirks to this. And One of the biggest ones is the main controller feature here, which gives you quick access to 4 different knobs that you can assign over here in the global controller section. But as soon as you assign anything to this, it's going to completely override it. So you see I've got the levels for all the oscillators assigned here. So I'll turn off this sub oscillator. I am hitting keys and you're not hearing anything. But now you are, right? Even though this is still on 0. And the reverse is also true. If you crank this up and then crank this down, you're not hearing anything. So you got to kind of keep track of both. It would be nice if when you assign something to this, it would control the other on-screen control that it is representing. Another quirk that I've heard mentioned in the community was the keyboard, since it doesn't seem like you can slide it. But Reader Will pointed out that if you grab a hold of the bottom area here, you can actually slide it around. So just have to grab the black, not the key itself. Other than that, you should probably also keep in mind that unlike a lot of synths that have 0 over here on the left and maximum over here on the right, it's actually negatives on the left and 0 in the center, and you can zero out anything by double tapping it. But all in all, this is a great synth. It sounds amazing, and it's got all kinds of other stuff that I haven't even gotten to yet. There's delay effects, a whole big polyphonic ARP section here that is really impressive, and it's got different gate selection. It's kind of fun to play with. You can even tweak the scale that any notes you send at it are going to appear in. So you can say that, you know, instead of giving me a C, give me an F or whatever. And you can even do chords like this. And you may notice that the C I'm hitting is way over here. That's because it starts on a D sharp on this little preview thing, which is another little quirk, but honestly, this is just an awesome synth. And it is $3 right now as part of a introductory offer. I think it's going to go up to $5 in a week or two.